All right, what's up, you guys? Real quick, first, let me just say I did not know. I believe his name is Keaton Larson. I did not know him. Did not know him personally. I don't think I've ever seen him a day in my life. I believe he was in his early 20s. Stillwater resident. Went to the same high school I went to. And as like a lifelong Stillwater resident, this video gets released, right, like a day or two ago, of the Stillwater police shooting and ultimately killing this young man, and the video is released. And you see these different videos, right, from other places in the country, but never from your hometown, never, this, I've been here my whole life, in Stillwater my whole life, so when you see something, from the city where you reside, it's a whole nother ball game, and it really hits home, and it made me want to vomit seeing that video. I mean, it's about 5 minutes long, and I'll just give you the brief of it. Basically, this gentleman was standing outside, like on a front lawn, with a knife in his hand, clearly, in distress, right? It was a cry for help. I don't know if some suicidal thoughts, or suicidal words were said, or what was going on. I'm not sure what triggered the police call in the first place, but the first few minutes of the video are one of the officers engaging in a conversation with this young man, and the cop was saying all the right things. I'm here for you, brother. There's nothing in this world that you can't overcome. Regardless of what you're going through, you can get past this, and your life can get better. So please put the knife down. You're saying all the right things. All the right things. I was actually very impressed by how this cop handled the situation. And then all of a sudden you hear one of the female cops say something to him. And that triggered him. That made him snap. And he snapped, and he went running towards this female cop with the knife in his hand. And you can hear there were like 3 or 4 officers on site, right? So they had this kid outnumbered, 3 or 4. And you can hear something to the extent of, try the taser, try the taser. And then you hear another one say, the taser didn't work, the taser didn't work. And all of a sudden, you hear 2 gunshots go off. And then obviously, that put him down. So my thing is this. If you're going to shoot, why shoot the upper body? First of all, you have the kid outnumbered, okay? If somebody were to knock that kid to the ground, right? You have 3 or 4 officers there and 1 person. It's no different than say 4 people jumping 1 person in a fight. No matter what, you're always going to have somebody that has that 1 person's backside. So you're telling me you couldn't creep up behind him, knock him to the ground? The second he hits the ground, the second that situation reaches the ground, it's over for that kid. You know what I mean? And it's over for the cops too, because you're going to be able to disarm him, get that knife, you're going to be able to handcuff him. All you had to do was knock that kid to the ground. That's it. And you had 4 officers there. You had to knock him to the ground. It would have been as simple as tripping him. Okay? As he's running towards a cop with a knife, one of the other officers, you slip behind him, trip him, knock him to the ground, disarm him, put him in cuffs. That's it. That's it. But one of these cops, look, I know cops have a hard job, right? I don't envy them at all. I would not want to be a cop. Every day you go to work, your life is on the line. I get it's very stressful. And in the heat of the moment, things happen quick. But again, I can't say, if I was in that position, I was the cop who pulled that trigger, I can't say for certain that I wouldn't have pulled the trigger. But I can tell you that I would have made a damn hard effort at shooting him in the legs or something, right? So you shoot him in the leg, that's going to probably knock him off balance. That's going to knock him to the ground. Again, as soon as this hits the ground, it's over. It's over. The whole situation's over, because once he hits the ground, you have 3 or 4 cops. You can all swarm on him. It's over. Disarm him. That's it. That's a wrap. End of story. So for the one cop to have pulled the trigger, to feel like he needed to shoot this kid twice in the chest. And again, it was dark. It was dark as hell out there. It was like the middle of the night. So, in the heat of the moment, I could see where if you were aiming for one part of the body and you hit another, I could see where that would happen. So I'm not, I don't think the Stillwater Police Department handled this completely incorrectly, but they definitely fucked up. They definitely fucked up, and they didn't need to go this route. That kid did not deserve to die, and he sure as hell didn't deserve to die the way he did. He needed help, not a bullet. Again, the cops, I feel like they were doing everything right to de-escalate the situation. And they tried using a taser. That's the correct move. But whatever happened to those pellet guns? You didn't need you didn't need real bullets. It's like, maybe one or two of the cops, have armed with real bullets, right? A real gun. But another, you got to have like a pellet gun, or you got to have, something like where you get those, God, I forget what they're called, but you guys know what I'm talking about here. Just like those real hard rubber balls that you can shoot in a gun, and they're hard enough to where they're probably going to do some damage, but they're certainly not going to kill anybody. So I think the Stillwater Police Department did everything right, but ultimately fucked it up. The Stillwater Police Department fucked up.